Welcome back. In our third segment, we're going to talk about Pakatan, Rakyat and PAS. So, how does PAS plan to reconcile its principles with Pakatan Rakyat's stand on certain issues such as Allah and others?
Well, to be frank, over the issue of the use of Kalimah Allah, there's really nothing to reconcile about. We have made it very clear, the President, the Murshidul Am, to Guru Nik Aziz, to Guru Haji Hadi, and later on, Majlis Shura Ulama made it very clear in their stand and their communique that firstly, the name of Allah is not made illegal for others to be using it. Clearly. Yeah, you go into the Quran, Allah Himself, the Prophet, and the four rightly guided Khalif never made it or outlaw the use of the name of Allah. It is permissible, yeah, and there is no verses of the Quran. This is not just about our ulama stand. It's to do with contemporary ulama like like Sheikh Yusuf Qardawi, Wahbah Zuhaili and others. Yeah, so that clear and simple. Insofar as the use of Allah, it is not made unlawful or it's not haram. It is permissible. Yajuz in Arabic. Yeah. However, what we are concerned about, and the President said it earlier, the Murshidul Am said it as well, and endorsed and amplified by the stands made by Majlis Shura, the Ulama Council, where what in the Ulama Council made it, detail it out as what would be the misuse of the name of Allah. So in that sense, I think the BN media spun it. They spin it because they thought that they're going to, put us at loggerhead with one another. So really, there's nothing to reconcile about, yeah. And of course, as Muslim, you wouldn't want, because you have allowed the name of Allah to be used, to start describing Jesus as Allah or quail, you can't be putting, that certainly would be an abuse and misuse of that position and that stand. So I think really there's not much to reconcile about.
But if I'm not mistaken, the Shura doesn't allow for the word to be printed, but can be used verbally?
No, it's to do with the translation of the Bible. You can't it's certain thing you cannot be translating into Allah. So that is very clear. That I think we are all in agreement with that. Yeah. So although there are position of more acrimonious, more contentious issue by way of its use, I think that would be sufficient for us. We have made it very clear that the use of the name of Allah is allowed, but never to misuse and abuse it. And insofar the translation is concerned, I think we are quite clear with that. And the provision of the Federal Constitution of 11.4 and 11.5 is sufficient to take that on. And I don't think we need to be overzealously, defending it, the Kalimah of Allah, because it has never been in the tradition of Islamic civilization and whatnot. It has come to this level of division and contest.
But do you think through such issues, which is very sensitive to Islam and Muslims, do you think, is it fair to say that some members are fearful that PAS might lose its identity?
Surely, I mean, there's a lot of fear. As a political party, we have votes to count, and yeah, but that aside, first is to see the principle. When we argued this for hours and for many sessions, we argued it from the textual point of view, from the Quran, what it says, and from the tradition of the Prophet, what it said by the Prophet. So it's not about whether it's going to be winning votes or losing votes. Having put all the principles down and laying it down and making it very clear, then we consider of how to construct and contextualize it. So that's how so this is called al-istidlal. Al-istidlal is to get dalil, to get your argument, from the Quran first. What says the Quran? The Quran doesn't at all, imply that, contrary to that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very clear that it is permissible, and Allah says, many verses, if I could quote, So Allah says in the Holy Quran, like a verse in Surah Al-Hajj and Al-Baqarah, وَلَوْلَا دَفُ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ بَعْضُهُمْ بِبَعْضٍ لَهُدِّمَتْ صَوَامِعٌ وَبِيَعٌ وَصَلَوَاتٌ وَمَسَاجِدٌ يُذْكَرُ فِيهَا اسْمُ اللَّهِ كَثِيرًا. So, had not God, had not Allah Almighty check and balance the transgression of a group of people by another, places of worship, synagogue, churches, salawatun, and masajid, wherein the name of Allah says it. Yuzkaru fiha ismullah.
But do you
so
think,
these are, sorry?
But do you think that your party members will understand it's more important? Do you think the Malay electorate will understand this?
Well, it's not about them understanding this, therefore you got to tune to them. No, it's making it clear first, principally, how does it, why does it stand? So this is what we know as al-aslu fil hukum. Asal kepada the original position of Islam. Where is it? Halal or haram? If it is halal, then what could make it, what could be laws or enactment or legislation that will make it really watertight? Okay, this is it. You can allow it to be used, but not to do 1, 2, 3. That is the part of legislation. But as to its textual position, you got to make it very clear from the Quran or from the Prophet, hadith or traditions. How are we going to contextualize it? That is ijtihad. Yeah. So people get so confused by saying that, oh no, it's
so PAS is not worried.
We are not worried for as long as we are able to get access and explain it to the SS as a whole, the Malay Muslim constituencies. However, because again and again, this kalimah of Allah has been spun by the mainstream, BN media. Therefore, we are disadvantaged by this, and we feel that more important than all this debate, contentious debate, is about not just kalima Allah. It is the objective of Islam. It's the overriding purpose of Sharia. What is it? Rather than just the kalima of Allah. They have never been so concerned about the kalima of Allah anyway. But right now, because of this election, and because it is emotive, because they are winning votes on this, we couldn't care much about this. Rather, we want to make sure that we are on the right track.
Okay, thank you, Abi. Well, that's the end of our third segment. We'll come back for the fourth segment. Thank you.